Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we actually have a special campaign banner coming tonight. And I do know who the characters are going to be, so I do want to do a quick should you poll on that. Now, previously I made a post about Strago and Locke coming, and they are coming, but technically this campaign banner is going to drop first, so I'm going to do a separate should you poll on Locke and Strago. But what we have here, and we can tell what these characters are going to be. So one is it's a campaign banner, and what they've been doing on these is they've been returning FRBT characters. So we know that's going to be that. Both of these characters are characters I did speculate in my monthly poll plan video. But the way we can tell is right here, I am on the token challenge for Enna Crow. And if we go into a fight, let's say I'm going to do the Lufenia here, you're going to notice that Zack and Warrior Light, they are glowing as boosted characters. So they do this sometimes. They'll make a character synergy for an event before they actually drop and become ×2. So this tells me that the campaign banner is going to be Zack and Warrior of Light. So the question is should you pull on this banner? This banner shouldn't have like side characters. I'm pretty sure it will just be both of them, right? So what I'm going to say is I'll kind of summarize each character and then talk about if you should pull or not. So Warrior of Light, very, very good tank character, and this is a shield-based tank character. So essentially what he does is he puts really giant shields on the party. His LD buff makes it so that if your shield value is greater than the HP damage you would take, you don't take any HP damage. So he literally just protects the whole party, and his shields are very meaty. So it's very hard for the boss to do damage to your party when you have Warrior of Light. I've referred to him in the past as kind of like a cheat code. If I was doing a really frustrating fight that was very aggressive with HP damage, Warrior of Light kind of feels like you're cheating it because like when you have him going with all the upgrades he's gotten, one, the shields are really big, and two, it's super easy to upkeep the shields, so you really just feel safe the whole time, other than any kind of unique mechanics the boss might have that would technically get around it, right? But Warrior of Light is a very, very nice tank. The other thing I'd say with Warrior of Light, he's a good budget tank in that his BT really isn't super necessary. Like, you get the nice normal BT buffs from it, but it doesn't do anything like super crazy to change his kit. And he's just very, very good. Now, him having Echo, I think, is really nice. But if you want to go even super budget, I think LD only Warrior of Light is actually still usable because you still get the shields and all the things that come with it, right? The Echo is just nice for helping you ramp and have a little bit more of a powerful attack. And Warrior of Light even has a little bit of healing. I would say it's not consistent enough to be your dedicated healer, but his EX does heal a little bit, right? So that's what Warrior of Light does. And then we have Zack. And Zack is another tank, right? He's a different type of tank. He's a tank that's more about, I think he's a lock-based tank. He's going to take anything single target. He's basically going to negate the damage outright. And then if he does take damage, he does have a zombie mode where he basically can't die. He actually is a lot more powerful in terms of damage than Warrior of Light. I would say Zack can actually do fairly good damage. I would put him as, in the level of like an average decent damage dealer. He's not like a high-end top tier damage dealer at this point, especially with characters like Astos and Enna Crow running around. But like in terms of tanks, I think out of most tanks, like he actually does some of the better on-turn damage, right? Now counter tanks do really good damage off-turn, but he'll do actually fairly good damage on-turn. Zack's abilities proc twice, so he gets double attack, so that's what gives him some pretty dang good damage, right? Zack is also very good at kind of like healing himself and managing his own HP, and once again, kind of sucking in the attacks and negating that out, and really helping keep the party safe that way, right? So now the question is should you pull on these banners, right? So the thing I'm going to say is these characters definitely are like not a must pull, and they are skippable if you don't need a tank. What I'm going to say is that I think what is a must pull is that like every box or like every player, I would say you want to have anywhere from maybe 2 to 3 like really good tanks built up, especially if you're going to tackle lockout content. So I think every account or every player should have 2 to 3 really good tanks. Warrior of Light and Zack are both excellent tanks. They're really, really good, right? So I would say if your box is lacking a tank, they definitely could be characters that you could go for. Now, if you don't have Kelger, I would definitely take Kelger above both of these characters. And Kelger is serving that tank role, and he's also countering like ridiculous. Kelger's too insane. Like, if you skipped Kelger, like, I would not skip Kelger to get these guys. And let me just check really quick. I'm literally doing this hours before the banner drops. Let me see if Kelger's still up. He might not be, huh? Is Kelger? Okay, there's Kelger, and he's until September 19th. Okay, So Kelger at the time of recording, if you're watching this before Warrior of Light and Zack drops, like you got to get this guy first. If you're looking for a tank, this is the guy you should get first. Now, if you already got Kelger and you need some more backup tanks, then I think either of these are excellent characters to summon for. To me, if you want to like know who to pick between the two, I would say Warrior of Light is someone that the one flaw that both of them have is neither of them counter, right? They're not counter tanks. Warrior of Light is the one that I feel like in general is going to make you feel safer, like you're going to feel more untouchable with him. Zack, you're going to feel like you deal more damage with him, right? So I think it's going to be kind of your preference. And if you're a veteran, this is definitely going to be a non-factor because both of these characters have been very good pretty much every time they get an upgrade. So people in the past have definitely pulled for these. So this would be more for like a new or returning player. I think there is some value, once again, on the Zack Warrior of Light banner. But it's got to be if you're someone that needs tanks and you already have Kelger. I think your first priority on a tank has to be Kelger. He's just too good to skip on. The nice thing with a character like Warrior of Light is, and Zack, is they don't rely on dodging. So there are some fights that Kelger can get locked out of, some attacks that he can get locked out of, but he is a far superior character. But it's going to be totally up to you. And honestly, if you like ask me like which one, if it were me personally between Warrior of Light and Zack, I mean, I like them both, but like with my base knowledge of the game and how I've used these characters in the past, if I was say running a blank account right now and I already had Kelger and I wanted another tank, I personally would choose Warrior of Light. Zack is going to do a lot more damage, but man, I just feel so freaking safe with Warrior of Light, and I think Warrior of Light is even good for like, especially if you feel like you're an inexperienced player and you're still trying to understand the game. He's the kind of character where he's so simple. You just keep the shields up and your party is safe. So if you're a player that like dies a lot in fights and maybe you're still kind of learning the game, I would actually take Warrior of Light over Zack. But here's the thing. They're both on the same banner. So just you summon and whichever one you get, they're both good, right? So anyways, you guys can let me know if you're going to pull or not. Once again, my recommendation is I recommend everybody have a good set of tanks in their box. But you need to get Kelger first, and then if you want beyond them, then definitely summon here if you need more tanks. It's a fantastic one, but it's very skippable for a lot of players, especially veterans, because a lot of veterans are already going to have them done. So anyways, guys, let me know what you're going to do here. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.